Good evening. The southeast is braced for its wildest weather since the Australia Day weekend. Heavy rain and flash floods are forecast, and it's feared we could face more problems because some ground is already deeply saturated. Reporter Matt Neagle has been following the developments, and Matt, the Weather Bureau is expecting the heaviest falls in the next 48 hours.
That's right, Georgie. When ex-tropical cyclone Oswald tracked down the Queensland coast 3 weeks ago, it dumped record rain totals, saturated the ground and filled our catchments. Now, this deepening low system isn't packing as much punch, but the rain that it does drop won't have many places to go, so that will cause isolated flooding, and residents in the rain-affected areas are being urged to prepare. As the low weather system moves south, it's bringing heavy rain to already saturated ground. It formed in central Queensland but has been felt more along the coast. Since 9 a.m, more than 70 millimetres has fallen in Wide Bay, and isolated flooding has cut off roads there. Further south, Sunshine Coast's beaches are being battered by 4-metre waves. It's gusty too on the Gold Coast. The wild weather has kept the crowds away, but the surf is up for those who dare.
It's just a windy day.
It's actually pretty good surf. Not really many people out.
The heaviest falls are expected to hit Brisbane in the next 48 hours.
A lot depends on the position of the low in the first place. If it's too far away from the coast, we might not get the heavier falls that we're expecting, but if it brushes close to the coast, we'll expect about 50 to 150 millimetres in many places, and some places might end up about 200 millimetres.
The Brisbane City Council has issued an early warning alert. They're not concerned but want people to be well prepared.
Well, look, the one thing we can't legislate against is common sense and human nature. And I just ask people to apply common sense to all that you do. Don't take risks with water.
As more water flows into Brisbane's swollen creeks, there's concerns that debris created from ex-tropical cyclone Oswald could be dislodged and pose a real danger downstream. The worst of the bad weather will drift south across the New South Wales border in the next few days, and the sunshine should reappear in southeast Queensland before the weekend. Georgie, now as this high volume of water makes its way into Queensland's creeks and rivers, it'll cause unpredictable conditions, and as we've seen in the past, river levels can rise quickly and without warning. There will be floating debris and the banks can become unstable, so emergency services are pleading with people to stay safe, use common sense, and if it's flooded, forget it.
Good advice. Thank you, Matt Neagle at Kangaroo Point. And some areas on the Sunshine Coast have already received more than 60 millimetres since 9 o'clock this morning. Tegan George joins us now. And Tegan, where have the heaviest falls been?
Well, Georgie, there's been some heavy falls around the central coast overnight, with areas around Mackay receiving up to 155 millimetres. Today, though, since 9 a.m, the heaviest have been around the Sunshine Coast hinterland. Mullaney received 70 millimetres, Beerwah 66. That was to 3 o'clock this afternoon. In Brisbane, most areas received between 10 and 15 millimetres. Launton had 17, Marumba Downs 16, Mount Cootha received 12. Now, if we take a look at the radar now, most of the activity is actually concentrated off the coast, but we are going to see falls around Brisbane intensify tonight and into the morning as that low moves in a south-southeasterly direction. But I'll have more details a little bit later on. Georgie?
See you then. Thank you, Tegan.